know who hates feminism? Alan Cummings and us, but for two entirely different reasons. Now we're reacting to videos.
That's Nina.
Hi, that's Yassie.
Okay.
Leave it to a man to tell women what women are.
TERFs are not women. Is that what this is?
Dear transphobic female,
Oh.
you speak of my body to say I am not a woman. I speak of your soul to say you are not a woman. Women are more than bodies, more than wives, more than accessories, more than incubators, more than receptacles for men. Your mind is closed because you serve men. You fear me because you fear men. You harm me because men harm you. You devalue me because men devalue you. Men shrink you, but you cannot shrink me. No, our bodies are not the same, but our hearts could be. You would see my beauty if you open your eyes.
Where's the beauty?
You may earn my sisterhood, but
Don't want
only
it.
if you change. What you call womanhood doesn't matter. Your misogyny is poison. Your masculinity is toxic. Your eyes are empty. Your soul is a void.
I'm so sorry. Are my eyes closed or are they empty?
This is terrible slam poetry, man.
Oh my gosh. I think the whole time I was like this. So I don't think my eyes were closed at all, sir. They were open the whole time, listening and watching. What makes you the arbiter of what a woman is? Because you have personal experience, in your opinion?
He seems like he'd be an abusive husband. I bet he was. I bet he was married before, took his wife's look.
You're trying to use this like reverse psychology stuff?
Yeah, very weird.
Your own arguments don't make much sense.
It's like he's talking to himself.
You cannot understand what the soul of a woman is because you've never had one. You assume the spiritual thing we call a soul is female or masculine, which you will refuse yourself as a religion, but I would argue even if it doesn't have a book, it is a religious belief because it has to do with spiritual, not with what we have in the flesh. Your own arguments go against probably half the things you're trying to fight for, if not all of them. And it's in this attempt to be like, oh, see, nothing's a woman, so therefore everything's a woman. But that means that we're all people, dog. People, if you want to believe it, have souls. Call it personality, soul. We could get religious, call it your spirit. I don't mind what you want to call it, but it does not make you what you believe you are. You get to co-opt womanhood to say that you know what womanhood is because, womanhood is anything. So then I know what it means to be a man. I know what it was like to get my first erection. Totally. See how this doesn't work? Mm-hmm. Just because a woman can be a receptacle for a man doesn't mean that that's all that she is. That's a masculine view of womanhood. I've never been a receptacle for a man. Neither have you. There's plenty of women who not only actively make that choice, but make sure they never are that. And because you want that view is what you put out there. You're creepy and you're weird. And you should probably go in a home somewhere.
That spare tire is severe.
You can't shrink him.
They always come across as just very, very angry men. And it just proves our point even more. That these guys just don't like women unless they have a penis. Apparently.
Or they're serving their purpose, right? Their point, their narrative. If they're like, for them being in their facilities, then woo-woo. But you know what? Most people don't want to see you talking like this outside of our bathroom or in your gym or whatever you're doing, dog. Get your shit together. I'm so sorry.
Who is saying dog around you all the time? You've said it like 3 times.
I can't talk to this person. This is crazy.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's not a woman.
The slam poetry is really, really trash, too.
It's very bad. It reminds me of that poor... I found this person on Instagram who's a man that identifies as a woman, and I'd put it on the channel if it wasn't just so tragic. It's not even funny. It's just, like, so sad and so concerning.
We have 10 more seconds of this.
of being told that we don't know what women are. We're not women in our souls, which is where it's the most valuable to be a woman. That's where the meat and gravy really comes from being a woman.
I see.
It's in the soul. You know, the thing that nobody can touch, see, or feel.
Yeah, this is why we don't listen to crazy people.
The meat and potatoes is there.
Yes, it was beans and franks is what he has. Yes.
You are not a woman.
Sure, bud.
You are simply female. Stay out of my bathroom.
Good luck with that. What a fool. This is why I'm pro-abortion. Because people like this should have been aborted a long time ago.
I am for other reasons, but also that.
Right. Now, here's a lady who just proves our point that
She hasn't blinked.
that feminism today is just the misogyny of yesteryear.
She hadn't blinked in like a good 5 seconds. She's just screaming.
She's on some extreme drugs.
I didn't blink in the last one because it was terrifying. But this
Yeah, you got to keep your eyes open because if you close them for just a second, he's going to like do something. You got to be always vigilant and aware around these weirdos.
If they make you drop your jaw, they're going to stick something in there. You gotta be
Exactly.
careful.
But yes, and it's his female penis, right? It's his woman
You can't
penis.
shrink him.
Right, you can't shrink him. No, he's blowing up like a balloon on the estrogen.
I've never said to anyone they can't shrink me. I don't know what the hell that's about.
I don't know. He was trying to be artsy and use colorful words, but I mean, he thought they were.
Women don't have
Just
things that
sad.
shrink. Men have things that shrink. It's like even when they try to avoid being masculine, they're still so masculine.
Yep.
Like women aren't like, you can't shrink me. Shrinking is a negative term for men because it implies having
Yeah.
a smaller member. No.
You know what women don't do? Try to convince other women that they're women. Women don't do that. We've never needed to because we know that they're women and they know we're women. But if you're a dude, you're going to do this stuff.
Yeah, and the amount of people that support the things he was just touting is actually worrisome, especially if he's the person that's on the front of the flag to like advertise this movement.
And you know what? If women weren't in the female bathroom because they knew that dudes like that would be in there, they would be angry at women for not going in the bathroom because they're in there.
Told us to stay out of the bathroom.
Exactly. With people like that, you can never win. So you might as well just not try and just let them be crazy.
So when you're like, stay out of my bathroom, why don't you just go in the one that's meant for like the families, the one with one stall, and you can like go alone. You can go with like 8 people if you really wanted. Why don't you just go to that one?
Because in order to affirm his crazy, because this isn't even trans.
But
this
he
is
just
something
told us
else.
not to affirm as crazy because we don't believe in it.
Right. But if every woman were to be like, I'm not going in there because there's dudes in there, they would get upset and try to harass us and hassle us for not going in there because they're in there. And we're not affirming they're crazy.
Bye, crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's just acting like a dude.
I will go change things to female everywhere if that makes them like it's all linguistics with them. It's always, oh, this word means something else today. This word means something else today. How about we've always had female and woman to mean they the same thing. The
Yeah.
reason we say trans woman is not even to be offensive to you, it's to clarify that you don't have the bits to have babies. And you know what? That's kind of vital in a lot of conversation.
Yeah. Put 100 trans women on an island with like 100 men and see who gets pregnant.
It's not even to be rude. The fact that we call
None.
them trans women alone shows that we're respecting what they'd prefer. We're just simply informing you of the full situation.
Yeah, but I don't respect these guys at all. Because
No,
I don't think they're
but
trans.
they
I think
had-
they're just dudes cosplaying as women because they have some weird fetish.
But they had there had been an agreement.
Yeah, a
that
long
that
time
was-
ago, before the
that was what we would
crazies
call
took
them.
over, dudes like this took over.
And that's why there's such a disagreement now. It's because they are so linguistically based on changing things. Oh, this doesn't mean this anymore. That doesn't mean that anymore.
They believe that if they change the language and everyone agrees on changing the language, that they will believe that these guys are women. The majority of the people don't believe these guys are women. Even the women saying, I believe you're a woman, they don't believe you're women. They don't.
If I was a trans woman and someone called me just the woman over there, I'd be happy because I was doing a good job. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm an actual woman.
Right. Because women don't need to transition to be women.
No, I'm saying if I was a trans woman if I was a man and I transitioned to a woman,
Yeah.
and someone called me a woman,
Yeah.
just like in natural conversation, that woman over there, right, talk about me, I'd be happy that I was doing a good job, but I would still know I'm not a woman if that woman approached
Obviously,
me.
because no woman's like, oh, they called me a woman. No woman ever said that.
No, but
ever
like,
felt that.
I can see why you'd be happy with it if you're not. But to be this adamant,
You're just proving you're a man by acting like a man.
Yeah.
In woman face.
to like be like, oh, I'm taking the label. You don't deserve it.
You're not a woman. Well, thank you. You just proved to us that the patriarchy is alive and well in woman face.
Ah, yes, because when you got your first period.
Well, here's a lovely, sane woman.
Oh, because why the actual f am I supposed to care whether or not women are playing sports? Why do I care what kind of women are playing sports? Whether or not they're women who are trans, whether or not they're women who are transitioning, whether or not they're women who are intersex, whether or not they're women who are young, old. How many f do I give? Oh, the woman who happened to have made it through by crawling through the muck to become her feminine self. She won. She won the sport thing. How dare I? I should be upset because she started in a different place.
Okay.
No, I shouldn't let her cross the finish line as a woman. God forbid she be herself when she wins. Why should I f***ing care? Who plays in women's sports? You don't watch women's sports. You don't f***ing watch women's sports.
Wow.
Why do you care who plays them? Get the fuck out of our locker rooms. Get the fuck out of women's health. Get the fuck out of our lives. Every single woman is a woman. All women are women. Regardless of genitalia. Gender is a f***ing construct.
We need camps. We need to make work camps.
How many cars in America are they screaming in right
to,
now?
We need to put ladies like this in those camps where they can cool their heels.
I'd love to run a social experiment where you give everyone like $50 to show up and make these women go to the bathroom with those guys in there.
Yeah. One thing that I learned a long time ago is that like 95% of people are just full of shit. I mean, she's acting the part of a crazy liberal Karen. She's doing very well, but everyone knows she's just full of shit. When push comes to shove.
She also doesn't watch women's sports. How do you know these people do?
Right.
Furthermore, I want to reiterate my point. How many cars are people screaming in America right now to film a TikTok?
If you're screaming in your car to your phone,
That hardcore?
you got a lot more issues than, I mean, I'm not even going to argue with her point because her point is retarded.
Well, the thing is, you also can't, in general, argue with someone who's this emotionally active.
And crazy.
Well, not even just crazy, but also like...
Oh, even crazy.
Because obviously,
She's
external
deranged.
factors apply.
I bet you she's a therapist.
You cannot have a discussion, a productive discussion,
Yeah.
with someone who is this emotionally active over something you know they also don't have any actual investment in. She does not
No.
watch women's sports.
They'll like stab you or
She
something.
might have a trans them friend or whatever, right? As a
yeah.
significant other, and that might be why she's so up in arms about this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she doesn't watch women's sports. Her partner's not participating in women's sports. She's not participating in women's sports. She has as little ground to stand on as the people she's screaming at,
Yeah.
allegedly.
She's screaming into a void.
She is just as much to blame because she's sitting here and being like, oh, you guys don't even care. Hon, name me one professional female sports player of any category.
Martina Navratilova.
Not you, but her. She doesn't know either.
Billie Jean King.
To be sitting here and getting this mad, Caitlin Clark, right?
Serena Williams.
To be sitting here and getting this mad
Carrie Struck.
about something she also clearly doesn't care about is ridiculous. Save your passion for the real problems.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
There's no point in arguing with her because
No.
she's not going to listen to any bit of reason anyhow.
You got to 5150 her and just put her in the psych ward.
You know what? Do a social experiment where they each have to go to the bathroom with these people, and I'm telling you, they're going to change their minds at the end. They haven't seen enough of them in their bathrooms and interacted to the extent where they're like, you know what? I'm done with it.
Some women will put themselves in horrific situations just to prove their beliefs, to prove their point, even if it comes at the expense of their physical safety.
I think that the number, something like 1 in 3 women have been sexually assaulted in their lives or molested even or whatever, like sexually assaulted.
Yeah, it's like 98% of them, the perpetrators were male.
And
regardless of how they identified, by the way.
I strongly believe that the women that haven't been are the women that are fighting that's hard for it.
It's got to be. It's such a small number of women that are
If you've
like
had
this.
any concern about that kind of thing in the past, you see right through this before it even happens.
Yeah.
But if you feel protected, then you're like, why don't you want a man in your space? They've only ever been great to me.
Yeah, because
Even
you
the
personally,
ones-
but you don't know all of them. You only know,
That's what I'm
you know?
saying. They must be the percentage that hasn't been.
Right.
Because otherwise, I cannot fathom how you do not see through what's going on.
I can't either.
So you must be the percentage of people who can trust men because the ones you know haven't touched you, haven't hurt you.
Yet. If you keep putting yourself in situations because you trust these men who say they're women, well, eventually,
Which is why
the
I say,
chickens will come home to roost.
if you put these psychos in the bathroom with these people who've been sheltered, maybe they'll fucking understand our point. Sorry for swearing.
Well, as long as they're not near me, as long as I don't have to come into contact with crazy people like this, because they just make everyone around them miserable.
No, we'd have to get someone else to like host the experiment so we don't actually have to be there.
I mean,
But-
this isn't like personally affecting her at all. Can you imagine when she's angry about something that actually affects her personally? How she's going to act?
I can hope that she
Insane.
never comes into contact with an aggressive male. But I can also say that she might walk into a Planet Fitness and see someone yanking it, and maybe that'll set her straight.
I don't think so. I think that these women are like way too far gone. Not even the worst of the worst happening to her could change her mind because they're so convinced. It's like those people who are in cults and they get abused, but they're still hardcore into that dogma. They don't change. Sometimes crazy is just crazy.
It's unfortunate.
Anyway, Alan Cumming, the last one, who hates feminism because women. Women. And I mean like actual women. I'm not talking about dudes who say they're chicks. Okay, so let's see what a person in Hollywood has to say about feminism.
I'm in my 60s and I've grown up where like feminism was like still a sort of newish concept when I was a young man. And to me, I always remember thinking it's about equality. Whenever anyone would ask me what they, I say, how can you not be a feminist? Because it's saying I'm against equality, right? So I'm a feminist. You're Lara's a feminist,
of course,
because you want equality. You want everyone to have as good a chance as you have and as good a life as you have. Now it appears, just not trans people.
yeah.
And that, to me, is so disturbing and such a betrayal of what I thought feminism was all about.
Okay, so he's retarded. We all knew this. No, feminism isn't about equality of everybody. No, feminism was women get equal rights to men. Men barging their way into feminism and then dictating what other women have to believe and what they have to say just because that man says he's a woman, that's not feminism. That's misogyny inserting itself under the guise of saying they're a woman.
Feminism, quite literally, stemmed from, wow, I hate that my husband beats me, but I have no money, no life, cannot own property, cannot open a credit line, cannot go and work my own job. That's where feminism started from. Feminism has nothing to do with trans people. Feminism has nothing to do with gender ideology, nothing to do with even sexuality. Feminism is so that women can live independent, not away, but independent from a life living with a man. Because some men are abusive. Some women did have to grow up in abusive situations. Some women only had a man that would abuse them and had no way out. Feminism is about equality. It's about equality of pay. It's about equality of opportunity. It's not about equality of trans people to be seen as women. Furthermore, feminism to this extent, maybe you're seeing what they call the radical right-wing feminism, Alan Cummings, but the left-wing feminism is also a very, very rampant, hairy, armpitted beast with blue hair and a septum ring.
And dicks swinging around.
And that's also a very alive and very well movement that I guarantee you would be fully for, like the woman screaming in the last car. I agree that feminism has destroyed what we're dealing with right now. The over-feminization of men. The women pushing that men and women are exactly the same. That's not what we meant by equal. What we meant by equal is that they should have the same opportunities. They should make a living wage. I'm not saying they should make just as much as men who work hard jobs, but they should be able to afford to live on their own. That's feminism. That's what true feminism really was. Now it's all this muddled mess of you have some people believe in this version, some people believe in that version. I want to go back to just making sure that women aren't getting beaten by their husbands and have enough money to take care of themselves. That's all I really care about.
Feminism today is trans feminism. It's not real feminism. It's trans feminism. Because once you allow men into the feminist club, and these men are identifying as women and then telling the women what to do and what they can accept and not accept, well, then you have a patriarchy alive and well controlling feminism, which makes it not feminism. It just makes it
The patriarchy in a
the
dress.
patriarchy in a dress. Yeah, pretty much. So someone said, the brazenness of men who think feminism is here to accommodate their desires and entitlement. Another woman said, or person, oh dear, man upset because women are doing feminism wrong in his eyes. Man doesn't understand that feminism is about females. Man thinks feminism is about women being universal support humans and advocating for everyone's rights, even at the expense of their own. Man is an idiot. Yeah, I mean, that's incredibly accurate. He was trying to equate feminism with LGBTQ.
He's trying to he's trying to say that feminism is equity.
While also saying that feminism isn't female. It's
Equity is
man in
trying to
dress.
act like we're all this like little fucking bean that started from wherever, and now we got to make that bean a tree. And that bean is never going to be a tree because it's meant to be a bean sprout.
Females have feminism so we can push for rights that we feel that we do not have. Feminism isn't an open invitation for men to come in who say they're women so they can take over and then decide what feminism is.
The fact of the matter is that
Or get guys like this coming in and saying, hey, ladies, you're doing it wrong. Allow the men in who say they're chicks because I believe they're chicks. And what I say and believe is right. And all you women, what you believe, that's wrong.
feminism at its core is called feminism, not equality, because it's about women getting the rights that men had.
And it's not trans feminism either.
The fact that you are a biological man fighting for women's rights under the guise of feminism
Yeah.
in itself is backwards thinking.
Yeah.
The man should listen to what the woman is saying, and then if he does what she said, you're in support of feminism. If you're not listening to women, if you're listening to people with dicks, you are, what is that? Is misogynist. Fully
Yeah.
misogynist.
He's just a misogynist who is
you don't care about the people's opinions.
He identifies as a pro-female feminist, but he's not. He's just a trans.
If you went back to the 70s or 80s, these feminists would not be in support of the things that are going on right now. Not in support of trans people.
Not in support of doing OnlyFans.
They were so for separating of the sexes that they wouldn't have been for it. I know because I've talked to some real old head liberals, and they straight up asked me, what do you think they'd think of transitioning now? They'd hate it.
Yeah, it's true. And the icing on the cake is him wearing the wanker hat. I mean, that just says it right there.
You're
He's
off
got
the
the
penis.
label. He's got the label right on
Is
his
he
hat.
gay? Because he seems super gay.
I think he's probably gay, which is just so typical at this point. The twat in the wanker hat is disappointing. Is disappointed women are so exclusionary. Oh, dearie me. He'll just have to cope then, won't he? Disappointed that women are so exclusionary. Yeah, women don't want men in our spaces. We don't give a shit what they identify as. They're not women.
Just because you'll stick it anywhere doesn't mean we have to let them come into our spaces. Like,
Right? Exactly. This is just another retarded Hollywood fool thinking that he's intelligent when really he's just a wanker. Anyway, like and subscribe. Join our
comment
memberships.
below.
And join our memberships to keep this channel going. And we will see you in the next one. Don't be a wanker. Bye.
Or whatever, you know. Bye.
Or a trans feminist.
Cry